I think that there's a lot of, I'll just say, good people that just don't know better, that are just taking the advice of whatever popped up in their feed the first, or whoever seems to have grown their X account the fastest. Like if that's their goal, that's the person they're going to listen to. Because why would you go listen to Gary Vee say, get ready for 15 years? And if you're not, it's not going to happen. Not in the way that you're hoping. Like you think I happened overnight. And they say it takes a lifetime to have overnight success, you know, because nothing truly is really overnight in a genuine way. Like it doesn't work that way. But yeah. And so that's where like I really try to model it the best that I can in how I present myself online. And I know it's a slow, and I'm okay with that to a degree. Now, I would love to increase the rate, and I'll do anything that I can that works within my workflows or within the time and financial constraints that I have to make those things better.
Well, I mean, I think that it's the way it works is very contrary to what people think. You know, it's like, I think for me, like one of the realizations was like, okay, this is the only thing that I don't want to do is XYZ. And it's like, oh, okay, well, to build an audience, like that's the only thing you actually have to do. And it's like, dang it, you know?
Yeah. Well, for me, I've found just like, I think we talked about this last time, but like my mantra lately to myself, because for long, ever since like in well, technically I think it was early 2020, but right in that window when I jumped from my W-2 position into full-time solo biz and like, hey, we're going to make it happen. And at the time it was email marketing freelancing. It's the whole journey has been, okay, once I decided that I wanted to stay solo and keep the business small, lean and mean, rather than like an agency model and you start bringing on employees and all that stuff, I was like, okay, automation, like, and if I have a VA, how can I delegate? How can I use tech, AI, all of these things to build high leverage into this so that I'm not actually doing literally everything, you know, on the day to day. And with that mentality, there was something flawed in that. Although, you know, there's a lot of merit in it. It's nice to have that type of intention. I made that such a blanket focus to create automations and delegation into my systems as much as possible that I negated and really chose to turn a blind eye to what actually matters. And that is doing the unscalable, especially at the beginning while you can. And there's a way to have your cake and eat it too. And that's what I'm working on internally and with my business and the processes and everything that I choose to focus on or not focus on. It's how do we balance where leverage can really come in to help you out so that you have more time to do the things that actually move the needle. And for most people, the asset really is your network. It is your audience. It is people. It is connection. It is friendships. It is clients. It is other people, you know, that maybe you would once think, oh, competition. It's like, no, put your heads together, learn from each other. There's plenty of room for everybody.
Work together, because you can go, it always makes me think of when my dad and I, when I was like in my teen years, like 14 to 16 or 13 to 16, whatever it was, my dad and I would go do these fly-in fishing trips up in Canada. So we would like go fly in for a week, right? You're the only one on the lake, and they just like, they fly you in, they land on the lake with the plane, which is super cool. And then they like drop you off at this cabin, right? And at the lake, like they have several boats, and they have a bunch of fuel, and they have a bunch of motors, right? Because they only check on you one time. They like come back halfway through the week and they're like, are you alive? And you're like, yes. And they're like, okay, great. See you later.
Like equal scary at the same time.
Yeah, it was really cool. But yeah, it was like, if you broke your arm, like you're stuck there for 3 days until they come back, and you better hope that you don't break your arm immediately after they leave, you know? And so they're like, they would have a bunch of like additional supplies so that you could still fish and everything. So they'd have the boats, and on the boats, right, what my dad and I would do is we would take one boat and we would take two motors and put both motors on one boat. And when you this was like just like a lifelong lesson that stuck with me. Like when you put two motors on the boat, it doesn't go twice as fast as a boat with one motor. It goes about 3 times as fast, because you have the propellers, and then you have the cavitation that happens between the propellers, and it acts like a jet propulsion. And I looked into that, and I found that like that, I was like, why is that? Like, it's so weird how much faster it is. And apparently that happens pretty frequently in nature. Like there's a similar thing. Again, it's not the exact equation, but like when they put two horses together, to pull a carriage, they also go about 3 times as fast because they feed off of each other. And it's really common. And that's always stuck with me in business is it's like, it's so much better to work with people and where you truly can, like, don't straight up like go to your competition and open like somebody who's just a direct competitor and open trade secrets to them. Yeah. But I mean, aside from that situation, you know, I mean, if we look at, you know, what we talked about when I started my agency, I mean, I sacrificed the service of web development and I went out and I worked with web developers and it made them look better to their clients because the one thing that they want after they build a site is they want people to go to the site, right? And so I was able to do that. And how do you get them there? Well, ads, here's the guy, you know, so it's like, there's just always more benefit, I feel, in finding ways to work together, you know, when possible.
If you want more content like this, make sure you follow because I've got plenty more coming your way. Peace.